Yeah, hello everyone. This is my first English video content on YouTube and other social media platforms. Um, I am from Indonesia. You may say that I am an emerging influencer. Yeah, I have around 1,300 over 1,300 subscribers on YouTube, 4,500 followers on Facebook, and then 3,000 over 3,000 followers on Instagram, and over 2,000 followers on TikTok. So I'm still a beginner. Yeah, a beginner influencer, a rookie. I've been doing this for about, let's say, a year, being an influencer or a social media personality, you may say. And um, I I have been creating videos in Bahasa Indonesia or in Indonesian language. Um, yeah, for 1 year, you may say. And uh, the topics of the videos are varied. Yeah, uh, and then I have the idea to make a full English language content or video. Yeah, I will make several videos in English for international audience, international viewers, and also about international topics. Yeah. For the first time or the first video, I will talk about the conflicts around the world, particularly in the Middle East, the conflict between Israel and Palestine, and also its neighbor countries. And the next video, I will also talk about a conflict, an international conflict, which is between Russia and Ukraine. These conflicts are still happening till this day, so I think it's still relevant to talk about these. And I would like you viewers, international viewers, maybe if you are interested with my videos, to know about my worldview or my point of view, yeah, as an Indonesian Muslim about these conflicts. I hope this video is not banned or you may say um, deleted by YouTube or Meta with their um, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and also TikTok. Yeah, TikTok has also been banning videos about conflict between Israel and Palestine. So I don't know why. Maybe because Facebook and Instagram and Meta is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, he is. Although he's, I don't know. Maybe Mark is not a citizen of Israel, or maybe he is. Um, but I think he is a supporter of Israel. Yeah, for sure. And because of it, he and his team in Meta is banning and also you know, deleting contents on Israel and Palestine conflict. TikTok is not owned by an Israeli or an American. Yeah, as far as I know, TikTok is owned by a Singaporean. Yeah, I don't know his name. I forgot, but yeah, TikTok is still banning and also prohibiting contents on Israel and Palestine, particularly those videos that support Palestine. Yeah, if the videos are about supporting Israel, I think it's okay. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I think social media platforms are just like, you know, countries. Yeah, or you may say authorities. Yeah, by themselves. For instance, Facebook is, yeah, a country that is owned, or whose president is Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, he has the authority. He has the you may say it's up to him. It's up to the owners of the social media platforms to um, yeah, to make some rules, to make some regulations on how the users make their platforms, yeah, or use their platforms. So I hope this video is not banned or prohibited by these social media platforms. um, First of all, viewers, my beloved viewers, and also whoever you are, I would like to say that um, I used to have this point of view where um, I think the best solution for Israel Palestine conflict is to have a two-state solution. Yeah, so I think everywhere people give this solution, yeah, two-state solution for the conflict between Israel and Palestine. And this is also the view that I follow, because um, you may say I have a teacher, or I am a follower of my yeah, you may say an Indonesian president, yeah, a former Indonesian president whose name is Abdurrahman Wahid. If you know, you can Google him. He was an Indonesian president who was also a Muslim cleric. Yeah. So Abdurrahman Wahid, or in Indonesia we call him Gus Dur, um, was an Indonesian president who was also a Muslim cleric. Yeah. He was so much respected by Muslims in Indonesia, and also all of Indonesians. Yeah, as yeah, Abdurrahman Wahid was also called as father of pluralism, and also yeah, he was an intellectual. Yeah, he was a leader of a big Muslim organization, you may say, in the world, also in Indonesia, which is called Nahdlatul Ulama, or we um, shorten it as NU. Yeah, NU is one of the biggest Muslim organizations in the world. Yeah, as particularly also in Indonesia. He was the leader of this organization. Yeah. So he has this view. Yeah, he had this view where the best solution for Israel and Palestine is two-state solution. Both sides should respect each other. Yeah, yeah. Israel should respect and also you may say follow um, the international agreement. So there have been resolutions for these two states and these two people, yeah, different people, or how to say, yeah. In Israel, there are also Palestinians, uh, which citizenship are or is Israeli. Yeah? So, you can say, um, if you know Nas Daily, yeah, I don't know his full name, but Nas Daily is one of the Palestinians who are the citizens of Israel. Yeah, so he has no Palestinian passport, yet he has an Israeli passport. Yeah, although I don't know, currently he has a different passport from another country, if I'm not mistaken. So that is the fact. Yeah, in Israel there are Arab and also Muslim citizens. They are Israeli. They are considered Israelis, but they are also Palestinians, or I don't know if they have Palestinian passports. Yeah, but they are Palestinians in Israel, and there is also Palestinian people in the Palestine state. So yeah, this conflict is really confusing. Actually, maybe it's been decades, and previously, before before World War II or before World War the First, there have been conflicts. Yeah, we know the history of Israel and Palestine, or particularly Jerusalem. Yeah, where three uh, how to say three phase, or three big Abrahamic religions: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism are uh, within the city. Yeah, you may say, people yeah, Muslims, Christians, and also Jewish people consider this place as holy. Yeah, so it's been a holy place for these the followers of these religions. So yeah, this place, I don't know. Yeah, it's considered a holy place, but it is made by God, maybe, as a place for conflicts, for wars, for many years. Yeah, you may ask your God, yeah, why He makes it like that. Yeah, as a place of wars and also conflicts. Yeah, until this day, until this minute, while He made, yeah, God makes this place as a holy place. Yeah, for Him. There have been prophets like Moses. Yeah, I think Moses is the first prophet. Yeah, or holy person that um, makes this place as a holy place. Yeah, and then after Moses, there have been Aaron. Yeah, if you say, in the Islamic tradition, they are called as Musa and Harun, and there were Sulaiman, yeah, Sulaiman or Solomon, David, in Islam, Daud, and so on, uh, um, until Jesus. Yeah, Jesus is a Jew, was a Jew, but the Israelis at that moment did not consider him as a holy person. Yeah, so far I know, until this day, um, there has, yeah, as so far I know, there has no Jewish people, yeah, there has no Jewish person who consider Jesus as a holy person to them, to the Jewish people. But yeah, for as a general knowledge, yeah, they still respect Jesus as a person, as a Jew who has influences, yeah, around the world, where Christianity and also Catholicism um, position him as a son of God and God. Yeah. So because of the respect and also the big followers of Jesus, Jewish people respect him, but not as a holy person to them. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's so um, how to say, it's unbelievable, yeah, how God makes this holy person as a place for wars, for conflicts, for many years. But let's make it short, yeah. Sorry if I have been talking so much. This is my first time, so please bear with me if I talk so many things and not in one track. Yeah, so I see. Yeah, I used to believe that two-state solution is the best solution for these people. Yeah, Israelis and Palestinians. But after the October the 7th or 7th October 2023, yeah, wow, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's extraordinary that Israel has been killing and attacking Palestinians for, yeah, as brutal as I have seen. Yeah, 40,000 civilians, or yeah, Israel may say there are Hamas soldiers or Hamas fighters within the number. Yeah, um, civilians and Palestinians, yes, civilian Palestinians who have been killed by Israel. Yeah, and the Western media, yeah, has been uh, I don't know, yeah, has been ambiguous, or when they um, bring up the this event, yeah, the conflict and the war, while the Western media, make the headlines for Russia and Ukraine conflict as Russia as the one uh, that is that has the mistake or to blame. Yeah, Russia is to blame within the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, while within the conflict between Israel and Palestine, yeah, I don't know, yeah, the attackers are clearly obvious, which is Israel. So why don't you just say Israel has killed Palestinians, has killed civilians? But the the structure of the sentence or the phrase is it's not like that. Yeah, for Russia, it is Russia has killed Ukrainians or Russia has attacked Ukraine. While for Israel, you yeah, so far I know, or I read the the news within the West, yeah, the Western media, you have never been written like this. Yeah, Israel attacked Palestine. Israel attacked Gaza. Israel killed children, Palestinian children, Palestinian civilians. I have never found this kind of headlines. Yeah, why? Why you have this biases? Yeah, is it bias or how to say? So it's very complicated. Yeah, I know that Israel is your ally, the ally for the United States, for England or the UK, for the European countries, especially Germany, France. But why? Why you have different how to say uh, in bahasa Indonesia it is called perlakuan ya. What is it in English? So different different applications yeah or different attitudes. So yeah, it's there are so many questions within my mind. Yeah, why it happens? Why Israel with its arrogance um, they can kill as many as Palestinian civilians to this day, to this second. Israel still is still attacking and killing Palestinians in Gaza and now in West Bank. Why? So um, I used to have, or I used to have this belief that the best solution for Israel and Palestine is two-state solution. But now I'm questioning it. Is it still the best solution while Israel is still attacking Palestinians? And okay, it's you can blame Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization, you say. So why don't you just, let's say, why don't you just attack Hamas fighters or Hamas people? Why? In the scenario of yeah, okay, so you have this narrative that you have to save the hostages, Israeli hostages. um, so to save them you have to kill everyone around them including the civilians and destroying the buildings around them. But is that the case, or you just use the hostages as an excuse for you to destroy Gaza, to destroy West Bank, to kill Palestinians? Why I see that is just your excuse to do this destructive acts, killing acts. I'm not, I'm a very logical person, but sometimes the prophecy within Al-Quran, yeah, my holy book, maybe it's true, yeah. Um, you, I'm sorry to say, Jewish people, yeah, particularly who are involved and also supported, who have been supporting Israel as um, the destroyers of the world, yeah, particularly within the Gaza and West Bank. And now you are also attacking Lebanese, yeah, yeah, people in Lebanon, yeah, and also Syria. Why? Yes, I don't know. So this is my video, yeah, for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be talking about this conflict in the next videos. I'm still practicing speaking English in front of camera, because I need to, you know, maintain my English speaking skill, um, and also because I'm um, I'm currently within the process of applying for PhD, my PhD study um, in English speaking countries. Yeah, so I make this video, and see you in the next video.